Hello everybody, it's Dragana from Saacibo. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you followed my channel for a while, you know I love specimens, flowers, leaves, whatever. But now that I'm doing a Christmas or winter themed journal, I wanted to do some specimen cards as well, but what sort of plant would really go into specimen cards for the winter? And I thought it doesn't have to be the plant, it can be something else. And I came across this website which explained there's so many different types of snowflakes, and I thought, how about we make some snowflake specimen cards like what you see here? And I've tried 3 different ways, and I want to show you each way of doing it depending on what you have for supplies or whatever your skills are. Now the first here, what you can see, is snowflake specimen created with die cuts, with these. Okay, now these are hand drawn and my absolute favorite. I love these, they're my favorite. And there's also a way to do it if you don't have die cuts, you don't feel like drawing, but you perhaps have some stickers, and these are made with snowflake stickers. I couldn't find them in white, I found them in silver. That's why I put them on the white paper so that you can see them better. No matter which way you choose, I'm sure you're going to have fun and create some really unique ephemera for your journals. One thing I want to mention, that I always put timestamps in my videos. So for example, I'm going to be showing you these first, but you want to see this first, you can just jump to that section using timestamps. Just go to that section and watch that section. You don't have to watch everything unless you want to. All right, so let's get started. These specimen cards were the first that I created when I started exploring this idea. And I had some of these die cuts that I bought last year, and I never used them actually. These arrived too late for the last Christmas season, so I'm using it this year. And I also have this one, which is a die cut that I've been using to cut these specimen tags. It's not really for specimens, I think it's more like for those photographs, but I think they're working just fine. So for this way of making, you will obviously need one of these machines. You will need some die cuts, some paper, and you will need some specimens. So after I cut those, I will need to laminate them. Or if you know a different way of using, say, acetate and gluing these in between 2 pieces of acetate, you can do that too. But I will be showing you the way that I made these. Okay, so let's put these aside. And first I want to show you how to cut these. I mean, if you have the machine, you know how to cut. But I just want to give you an example of how to cut creatively. I took strips of white paper and I didn't just cut them anyway. I cut them like this because now I can use this in my journal as a belly band, as a pocket, add a bit of transparency at the back, something like this. I will show you in my journal. Have a look at this. I just added a bit of vellum at the back and I created a belly band here with these negatives from that snowflake die cuts. Have one of those. It helps when you cut these really fine detailed die cuts. It just makes it really, my Sizzix Big Shot is in terrible state. I don't look after it really well, but I basically do it like this. I don't know, some people prefer to do it this way and put that on top. For me, this is better control, and I place it there because I want to continue this strip, and I'll just show you on one example. Okay. Oops, everything moved, which is not good. And you need some muscle. It's moving because it's on this slippery. So I usually go a couple of times back and forward to make sure I get a good cut. But this one worked just fine. And then you just slowly just work it out until it comes on its own. There we go, a little snowflake, tiny one. And then again, I have these left to use. So that's how you cut the shapes. So now that we have our specimens here, or things that we're going to put in the specimens, we're going to get our laminator. For me, this is the easiest way. You don't have to do it this way if you don't have a laminator. You can use acetate and glue in between two pieces of acetate. For example, like this, get two pieces, I hope you can see. Put a bit of glue on both sides and you glue them together and you get a specimen like that. You can do it that way for sure. But for me, because I have the laminator and I have these laminating pouches, they are perfect size for this, for the specimens. Then you get about 100 pieces in this box, which costs about $1.50. So it's really good. So you take a specimen. Sorry about the noise, this machine is making a buzzing sound, but this is what we do. You just put it in. So especially if you're making a lot of these, this is definitely the quickest way. Okay. And here we go. Our first specimen is ready. Isn't it gorgeous? I used cardstock for these, because if you use just paper, it becomes really fragile when you have designs like these. Use at least 180 or 200 something GSM. That will give you the best results. And the small one. I won't do this one. Leave it for decoration or something else. Here we go. You can turn that off. Okay, so we have our specimens ready. Now we take this and cut some of these. And I keep these. I can use them again to create smaller ones, so you know, as a collage piece. So let's cut more. Okay, we have ourselves the specimen frame. So you just pick one and make a little mark where you need to cut this, because this is a bit too big. There you go, that one. Here we go. So we'll make those two. Now, I like to, because these are just like really tight fit, if you know what I mean, and things tend to move. So I like to stabilize this bottom bit, and I just take some masking tape, cut a little strip, and place it where it needs to go, and then just put a piece of tape underneath, just underneath. Now it's going to stay in place while I'm gluing it. Same here. Very simple. Now it's just a matter of gluing it together, and you don't have to put the glue on the laminated part. It's not going to go anyway. The frame will hold it in place, and that way you'll prevent glue seeping through. here where the window is. And you just put those two together. I'm not really good with these. They always tend to move, and the glue is already kind of set. Well, that's all right. I'll be more careful this time. So that's our two specimens, and then you can decorate them further. You can add specimen numbers like I have here, or date. You know, you put some stickers or whatever, little decorations, and there you have yourself some really interesting looking specimen cards with different snowflakes. Now I want to show you how to make these specimens if you don't have a laminator and you don't have the snowflake die cuts. Also, you don't have to have die cuts at all. I used a circular one here, but it doesn't have to be. I'll show you now the way how to do it without need for scissors and just using a metal ruler and a knife. You will need some acetate cut into squares. I think these are something like 2.5 or 3-inch squares, so you can make them smaller. Like these ones here are, I think, a bit smaller. They're 2.25 or something. And I used my own papers that I dyed using grape juice, and I think they have this gorgeous color. They're a little bit gritty. They have a bit of a sparkle. I don't know if that came from the grape or sugar in the grape or just from the rust, but I think they're perfect for this. They have this velvety look, and I just love them. And you need a white permanent marker or some contour paint. I have these. These were meant for painting on glass, but you don't have to use that. I have it, so I'm using it, and I like because it kind of gives me that, I don't know if you can see, it's just a bit three-dimensional. All right, so I have this same paper that I used before, and the way I did it, this is A5, which is 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, and I just folded this in half, and then I cut it in half because this will give me 2 specimens. Okay, so now I'm going to cut openings. This is going to be like that. This is going to be on the top. Okay, and I need something to mark where it's going to go. This is 2 by 2 inches, and I'll just place it approximately where I want it to be. Okay, get a pencil, and I'll just draw the line. Just use it as a template. There, and then here as well. Cool. Now we cut through both layers at the same time because that is just so much easier. Really see what I'm cutting. Should have used a marker. go all the way into the corners. Fix it now. Okay. And now you can erase your pencil marks if you want to. So we have the square ones. And you keep those. You see, I kept here those that I cut out of this. And I did a smaller piece, so I made like little Christmas tree ornaments. I think those are really cute. So nothing is wasted. Alright. Let's cut this one. Now we take just our acetate. And you want to mark yourself just away, so you know when you're drawing not to go over that. This is where you're going to cut it. Okay, so we have that as well. You need to make yourself a template. I did some research, and the snowflakes are usually with 6 sides. In essence, they are hexagons. So what I did is I cut myself a piece of cardstock, 4 by 4, and you need one of these. If you have children and they go to school, I'm sure they have some. So you just, I don't know, I start with approximately 1 inch. It doesn't have to be. And you go in the center and you make a circle. I hope you can see this. You make a circle. Okay. Now you have to find all 6 points. You use that same without moving this. You just now go into that one and place here and make a mark here. This is like basic geometry. Okay, you go here, there, and the last one here. Okay, now that you've done that, you can go a few more circles, different sizes. This is just going to make it much easier for you when you do the drawing. I think I need to move that one down a little bit. Yeah. Now you take a pencil and a ruler and you join these through the middle. Okay, and just put a line through this dot, and that dot, for example. Then it always has to go through the middle. Then you join these, and then here as well. So if you were to join these, it would be a hexagon. Okay. Take your acetate and you place it over. Now you see it's much easier to draw, and I'll show you just with a marker, because with this one it takes a while to dry. And I just want to show you something else here. I used just some packaging, cellophane, to practice drawing, because the first one might not look good, but then you get to have fun, so you just keep practicing until you're ready to do it on the acetate or transparency film. And like I said, all these snowflakes are in essence hexagons, so they have 6 branches. Sometimes they have 12, and at some occasions they have 3 main ones like this one. And there's pictures on the internet of real snowflakes under the microscope, and they are just amazing. So I looked at those for inspiration, but you don't have to. You can just go ahead and start drawing and having fun. Okay, now I just want to see how big I need this snowflake to be. And if I place this over that circle, I can see now that although I drew myself a bigger circle, I can only go up to here to the second one. So otherwise it's going to be covered with the frame around. Okay, so I'll just start here like this by drawing these lines. Okay, like that. And then I'll just do these little arrows bigger ones. We're just making a simple snowflake like that. Maybe I'll do this in between that, and then again arrows here. Maybe even here. Just tiny little ones. Here we go. Just a little one. Let's check if it fits in the window. I think it does. Excellent. Let's do one more. What I'm doing now, I'm just not copying anything. I'm just, you know, just drawing, making them really unique. And this is art, you know. We have artistic freedom. Okay, I'll do these like that. Have 3. Like that. And then something like this. Like, it's nice if they're symmetric, but they don't have to be. Okay, so there's our 2 snowflakes. So you just have fun with them. Now let that dry a little bit. I'm sure it's dry already, but anyway, I already put marks, so I just need to trim that off. Okay, let's have a look. This one. The same as in the first example, I like to stabilize this a little bit. Okay, I just cut a little strip of masking tape. And at the bottom, just so it doesn't move when I'm working. And now we get the glue. If you like to make these purple papers, I'll put the link down below to that video where I created these purple papers using grape juice and rust. Created some yellow and green ones as well, although the green ones, I have to say, did not stay really green for a long time. They sort of diverted back to the yellow, unfortunately. But the purple ones are just perfect. I love this color. And the papers became really kind of rough, almost as if you put some sparkles on them. Okay, that is very simple, isn't it? So these are the specimens we created with just a piece of acetate. It can be acetate from packaging. You know, when you buy stamps, you might have some, or you buy some, you know, chocolates or whatever with clear tops. You just cut those things off and you use it, and you just need a white marker, cutting board, a cutting knife, and some papers. So it can be decorative papers, Christmas papers, It doesn't have to be purple, it can be anything. I love purple, so I made them like this to be more like a snow. So now I can use some stickers. Like I have here, I have these. I think I want to put them. I don't use these stickers much, but I thought these would look good on these specimens. There you go. I want to show you this option as well. I created a really long one. Instead of folding the paper this way, I folded it that way, and I decided to have a specimen with 3 windows. I use die cuts. Obviously you don't have to, you can just cut the squares everywhere. And I created these smaller ones. Should be one more somewhere. Oh, it's here. I'm going to add just a drop of glue in the corners. And another thing you can do to make this even more interesting is take them to your sewing machine, do a straight zigzag stitch around. I think that would look really nice. Now let's move on to the third example. Third way of doing this would be with using clear stickers. I've seen in the shops these in red and green and in gold. I just got the one with silver, and I use them with my laminating pouches. So I basically put a sticker in between these, and I put it through the laminator the same way as we did when we made those. But I'll just show you a different way now. You don't have to do it, so you can get the clear stickers and you get some acetate, and you basically just glue the sticker to acetate. Although some of these stickers don't really stick all that well, like these are not sticky at all. So if I want this to stay as it is, I either have to put another piece of acetate over to hold it in place. I think they're meant for glass, like they're like, you know, they don't have any glue on them, but you might have some with glue. I don't know. I don't. These are just kind of meant for glass, I think. They stay, but they're just easy to peel off. Let me see. Yeah, they're just so easy to peel off. So what you can do is just place another piece of acetate over. You don't actually have to use glue, or you don't have to laminate it. You can just do that. Maybe I'll use this paper. Let me see if it fits. And let's make a tall one. I'll just fold it like this in half. Okay, and let me see how big this window needs to be. I'll just use this. It needs to be quite big, bigger than this. It's not going to fit. I'll just turn it actually this way because it's much easier to see on the white, and I'll do that. So I will draw the line to see where I need to cut, but I think I need to cut a little bit bigger. I need to cut like here. Okay, so now I know I need to cut from here to here to here to there, and it should fit. There we go. It's going to be a big specimen card, almost like a tag, and you keep those. You can use them. All right, so with this one, again, it is the same thing as before, although now we're dealing with 2 pieces of acetate. Just stabilize the first one, and then I'll put another one on top. stabilize here again. And now we need to glue them. So I will put a drop of glue in between those two, just in the corner, just so that those two pieces of acetate are glued together. That's all it needs. And now I'll just put the glue around. Here. Now I'll put this underneath something heavy for a few minutes, because it really needs to attach to the glue properly. And I'd probably do the sewing around this area here, because I didn't leave myself enough space around to glue it properly, so I'm thinking sewing might actually do the trick. It might look much better. That is basically it if you're using stickers and just acetate and you don't have die cuts to cut the middle part. Very easy, and you don't have to do the drawing. I took that one through the sewing machine quickly just to secure it, and I think it looks great. And this area here, you can put a little sticker and maybe make it into a journaling spot with a specimen, which is a snowflake. So it turned out really good. Before I wrap up for today, I just want to quickly show you that you can do this with other things, not just the snowflakes. This was about snowflakes, but you can maybe make it with stars. If you have these stickers with stars, or maybe die cuts with stars, or you want to draw the stars, it's up to you. So that's another example of this looks cute, of how to make specimen cards for your winter journal. Also, remember a few videos ago I showed you how to make whimsical Christmas trees, and I made these with strips of washi tape, and I cut them out in the shape of a Christmas tree, and I laminated a couple and I turned them into specimen cards, and I think they're just gorgeous. So you can do like little Christmas tree specimens, or maybe a Christmas stocking, or if you have any other stickers that are related to winter or Christmas theme. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had fun and enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what is your favorite way of making snowflake specimen cards. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I always value your opinions. And I hope I see you again soon in my next video. Bye for now.